When I ask married couples this same question of what they think is the root cause of the marital problems that they are having, they usually tell me things like lack of effective communication, financial disagreement, lack of intimacy, parenting differences. And when I tell them that all these things that they have mentioned are symptoms of the problems, but not the root cause, I see shock in their faces. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Transforming Marriages with Uju Omuzlike. As usual, I am thrilled to be your host today. And in today's program, I will talk about something I titled The Unspoken Cause for Every Marital Conflict. What do you think is the foundational or root cause of every marital conflict that we have today? When I ask married couples this same question of what they think is the root cause of the marital problems that they are having, they usually tell me things like lack of effective communication, financial disagreement, lack of intimacy, parenting differences. And when I tell them that all these things that they have mentioned are symptoms of the problems, but not the root cause, I see shock in their faces. The fundamental cause or root cause of every marital problems that we face today is the inability of spouses to accept the truth. Let's take lack of effective communication as an example. When your spouse complains to you that you are not communicating effectively the way you're supposed to communicate with him or her, there are two options that every married couple usually take. The first option is this: they will begin to defend themselves and tell the wife or the husband, but you are the one at fault. You are the one that do not communicate effectively with me. How come you are now saying that I'm the one at fault? I am not at fault. You are the one. So at that situation, that person is justifying him or herself instead of accepting the truth and telling the spouse that I'm going to work on it, I'm going to make amend. So at that situation, what the spouse has brought to the table that ordinarily should have been resolved will now end up becoming a full-blown conflict. But let's assume the husband or the wife will take a different option by saying, I understand what you have said. I think I am wrong. At that point, the husband or the wife is accepting the truth. And because you have accepted the truth, it will give you the room to make amend. And because you have accepted the truth and you have promised to your spouse that you're going to make amend, that you start from that day to actively listen to your spouse. And you will not make assumptions anymore when discussing with him or her. Instead of making assumptions, you will seek for clarification. And let's also use financial disagreement as an example. In many homes today, they work on budgets. So let's assume that you and your wife or you and your husband usually run on a budget every month. And it happened that on a particular month, you, the husband, you overshot the budget by 25%. When your wife comes to you complaining to you, when you say to her, I am really sorry, I would have overshot the budget. I know we have a goal and we must stick to it. I promise you, I will not do that again next time. I am not sure no woman in this world will be angry at that time. Your wife will simply say to you, don't worry, but don't do it next time. And that ends it. But in a situation where you will begin to say, oh, I have to do it. Is it not my money? Why should I have money? and I will make the expenses that I have to make. Why are you mandating me not to spend my money? Didn't I work for it? At that point, you're likely going to be angry, all because your husband did not accept the truth. Your husband did not accept what he did wrong. He overshot the budget by 25%. Instead of accepting the truth and apologizing and letting you know that he won't do it again next time, but rather he was justifying himself. At that point, there's likely going to be a conflict which will come as a result of your husband not accepting the truth. Your ability to accept the truth when reprimanded by your spouse and making amends will give you the rare privilege, the rare opportunity to face any conflict in your marriage. The problem is not what you have done or what you have done wrong, because no one is perfect. And because we are not perfect, we are likely going to make mistakes every other time. But the big problem is when you are being reprimanded for making that mistake, do you accept the truth? And when you accept the truth, do you make amends? So our inability to accept the truth is usually what gives rise to the conflicts that we face today in our marriages. So I'm urging you in this video to always accept the truth. When you have done something wrong, stop defending yourself. Stop justifying your actions. When you do that, you only end up getting your spouse angered. And when your spouse gets angry, the likeliness of a full-blown conflict crystallizing will be there. But that conflict would have been avoided if you were humble enough to accept the truth and make amends. So I'm urging you today to begin to accept the truth when you have done something wrong and also act on it. Make sure you do not repeat it next time. When you begin to do that, you will start having a happier and a stronger marriage. That is what I wish for you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. Till I see you next, keep supporting your spouses to be the best version of themselves and not the other way around. Enjoy the journey of your marriage.